Good times have come our way once again for businesses in North Carolina. Yes, we are finally starting to reopen some of the small businesses in our state. And while business owners are ecstatic about getting back to work and doing what they do, there are some things that we need to watch out for to make sure that we do it in a responsible fashion. And unfortunately, none of us have ever gone through this before and hopefully never will again. So to help the small business owners out, we've come up with some best practices to make sure you and your business do it the right way. And we'll take a look at all this coming up next. Hey folks, Jack Wingate here, and on this channel, we help individuals, families, and businesses with tips, tricks, and strategies to help you save money on your insurance, help you understand your insurance better, to let you know what's going on in the insurance industry. And in North Carolina, we are finally opening back up for businesses, and business owners are over the top excited. However, a lot of business owners have a little fear because they don't know what to expect. We've never gone through this before. So we're going to take a look at a few things today to hopefully help you get through the transition from not working or working a limited amount to getting back to normal. And step one is making sure before you reopen that you start with a clean and sanitized establishment. How often have you probably wished over the years that you just had a day or so where no one would come in so you could really do that thorough cleaning that you've been wanting to do? Well, guess what? You've had that time, and now more than ever, it is crucial that you get your establishment, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a hair salon, whether it is an office, whether it's retail, who cares? Make sure that you have your business as clean as possible. Now, there are a number of businesses out there that will come in and do a professional cleaning for you. Obviously, we suggest if you can afford that, to do it. These people are professionals. They know how to come in. They have the right chemicals. They know the cleaning procedures, and they can get it done for you. But let's face it, times are not as robust as maybe they once were. You've been out of business for a while, so you can do this yourself. Simply get some Clorox wipes, cleaning materials, disinfectants. Make sure you do check to make sure that they are safe disinfectants. But all of this is right at your fingertips and nothing that a little time and elbow grease can't do for yourself. So let's make sure before people start coming back to your business that our establishment is as clean as possible. Now, step two in this situation is coming up with a plan, and not just a plan in your head, but a written plan for how you keep your establishment clean and disinfected moving forward. Now, the way I look at this is we have 3 stages of a work day that we need to focus on. First is before we open for the day. There needs to be a plan in place to make sure that things are tidy, yes, but also clean. We go through, disinfect. This doesn't have to be the deep, thorough cleaning that you did before you open, but just make sure that we've rubbed down our surfaces, everything is clean and where it should be. The next part is cleaning throughout the day. Now, some places like restaurants, it is imperative that tables get wiped down, seating gets wiped down, condiments get wiped down after each and every customer. But in a retail establishment, you just can't walk behind someone and clean up after them as they go. So in those situations, have a plan. Have someone who is in charge of cleaning. Come up with a schedule. We suggest every 2 to 3 hours you go through, do a cleaning, have some disinfectant out there. But that way you make sure that throughout the day, as people come in and out of your business, that you're doing what you can to make sure the business is clean. And then the third phase of that is after hours. So you've locked up for the night, patrons have gone home, you've had a successful day. You and your employees need to have a plan in place to clean that grime that happens over the day. Now, more than likely, you've been doing this your entire career as a business owner, but now more than ever, it's vital that you have a written plan for this so that you can give that to an adjuster. If there's ever a liability claim because they say that someone might have caught COVID in your establishment. Well, this shows that you've done everything possible to keep your environment clean. So that takes care of cleaning. So now let's move on to employees. You as the business owner are responsible for your employees. You do the right things. You purchase the right insurance to make sure that we have workers' compensation. You make sure that the business has general liability. You make sure that you have employment practices liability so that your employee and your business are all protected as best as possible. But it's also your responsibility to make sure that you have a safe and healthy work environment. So while the CDC and powers that be have not mandated that business owners check each employee before they start for the day, we suggest that you have a plan in place to maybe check temperatures before employees start their shift. And even before that, you have discussions to where employees know and understand that if they don't feel well, if they have a temperature, if they're exhibiting certain signs, don't come into work. Call us, let us know. It'll be okay. The long-term safety and health of everyone outpaces the need for an employee to show up for a shift. So make sure your employees know and understand that it's okay if you don't feel well. Just let us know. It's not worth the risk of coming in and being sick and potentially getting others sick. In addition, and we shouldn't have to do this, but obviously it's been all over the news, we need to make sure that we have a written training and safety procedures that at least go over how to properly wash your hands. We've heard about singing songs to wash our hands, making sure you do it a certain amount of time, whatever the case may be, whatever training methodology you want. We need to make sure that our employees are keeping their hands washed, limiting contact with the face, and that will help us keep our employees healthy. As a side note, we understand that we can't wash our hands 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So making sure that we do have a good amount of hand sanitizers for those times where we can't wash our hands, that would be fantastic as well. And then we get to, and this is the big one, the customers. We need to make sure that we are keeping our customers safe. Now, we've already gone through cleaning our building, making sure it's a clean environment, free of germs as much as possible. We've discussed making sure that our employees are healthy, those employees that come in contact with customers, those that work in the back, it doesn't matter, that they are healthy. And now there's a responsibility that you have to let your patrons and your customers know what you expect of them. As a patron comes in your establishment, obviously we need to abide by state, federal, and local guidelines. In North Carolina right now, there's restaurants can only use like 50% capacity, so make sure that you're up on all those guidelines. But in addition, you need to have a plan in place for traffic flow within your establishment, making sure that they are correct social distancing. If you're a business that has a waiting room, making sure that there are areas spread out and designated for people to wait so that they're not all up on each other. Having discussions with your employees to make sure that they understand social distancing. All of these are things that we need to do, but we need to do them with an actual written plan in place. So it's not good enough to have it in your head. Once again, let's get it on writing. And here's the final thing, and this is just one business owner's opinion. In general, people want to come back and start doing business as normal. They want to come to your establishment. But some of them, frankly, might be a little scared too. So we suggest coming up with a one-page document that says, Mr. and Mr. Customer, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, here's what you can expect of us. We're going to do this, this, and this. We're going to clean. We're going to make sure our employees are healthy. We're going to make sure that we clean up after you. This is what you can expect of us. And then right below that, this is what we expect of you. We expect you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, not to come to our establishment if you're sick. We expect you to use proper social distancing. The hot button here, if you as a business owner decide that patrons must wear a face mask, then by all means put it right here on the document. Make sure that people know what you expect of them. If you do these things, the transition from the COVID way of doing business to getting back to the normal way of doing business will work all the more better. Hey folks, I am really excited to see businesses getting back to normal. I am sick and tired of going out and not seeing anyone. I'm sick and tired of people walking around looking like zombies. I'm ready for things to get back to normal. In order for us to do that, we need to do it the right way. So hey, if you've gotten any value out of this video, please hit the little button right up here and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great videos and we'll continue to put out a lot of great videos. And until next time, we'll see you later.